I hope it come out bright. All right, that's bright. Morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra, special, big up, shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards. Shout out to the school teachers. Shout out to the school bus drivers. Shout out to the garbage truck driver, the construction workers, the heavy equipment operators, the engineers. Shout out to King Biggs. Big up yourself. Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good. Hold on, I can't do that. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel. Cause you know, if them people that are dead, then we in big problems, right? Shout out to every single clean-hearted, good-hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. And on a day like this, every day, every week, we say, it's the freaking weekend, baby! Clap it up. Shout out to Lovely Aneka. Go over to Lovely Aneka's channel. Please hit up Lovely Aneka. Hit that subscribe button over there and engage her content. Lovely Aneka, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Jazzy Lady is with us this morning. Let's talk. Let's shout out some people from the top. Big up Virtuous Fire, Pussy Galore, Mr. Article Don, Lady J, Angel D is in the building. Onika St. John is in the building with us this morning. Seymour is here as well. BM, Audrey Wright says, morning fam, present teacher. Elaine Brown is here. Morning uncle. Yvonne Wallace is here. Esserin Odetta is here. Perlis123. Crystal G. Angel D says, good morning, one and all. Stacey Ann Williams is here this morning. Good morning, Stacey. Pussy Galore is in the building. It's the freaking weekend, baby. Lovely Anika is in the building. Grace James. McGuffey said Grace Jones is in the building. Marilyn Grant's in the building with us this morning. Jazzy Lady is here. BM says it's the freaking weekend, baby. Clap it up and give thanks for another day. Give thanks for seeing another week, for living through another week. Virtuous Fire, morning thoughts, morning thoughts, morning thoughts. You know, it's crazy when I'm in the grocery store now in Florida and out of nowhere I hear morning thoughts, morning thoughts. I'll be like, you know, big up to them people that see me out and about, you know? Michelle Taylor, big up yourself. Thank you for being here. Pauline Grant, thank you for being here. Great goodies. Marilyn Grant, please remember to like the live, hit the thumbs up as you enter. We appreciate that greatly. It helps the videos to trend. It helps people to know that we're here. It tells YouTube that somebody is interested. You not only show up, you engage the content. So they actually share the content wider across YouTube. And then more people see it, so more people come. That's how it works, right? Algorithms. Right. Devin Gale, thank you for being here this morning. Devin Gale says, good morning, SouFLo family and friends. Audrey Wright says, hit the thumbs up button as you enter, please, and thanks. And Banches says, you look like you're about to go on the road. I am. I am. Listen, yeah, but the beard have to come off next, though. Once the beard is off, I got a haircut yesterday, and I was like, "Is it time for the beard to go?" I don't know, not yet. I'm gonna look strange all of a sudden. I gotta get back used to myself in pieces. So probably about a week more, and then the beard gone, right? But anyhow, here we are on this beautiful Friday morning with a lot of stuff popping like hot oil, Crisco, pop, pop, pop. A whole heap of things are going on. But just between these two prominent men, I just thought about this. Just between Beachy Stout and Jolyan Silvera, there is a whole lot of stuff going on. We have a whole paper list long. You can't see it because it makes it white on the screen. But yeah, all that we're going to talk about this morning. All right. So here we go. Champagne, which is the lawyer who is representing Mr. Jolyan Silvera, he is asking us to remember the children in your discussions and your excitements and your rush to convict and all this. We're going to get into the articles because we have an article for all of them. There's a story out about Jolyan Silvera. People are saying, yo, SouFLo, you know, so the family there is not a nice family, right? And I don't know because I don't know them and I don't want to put false information out there. Matter of fact, like I told y'all before, right? I read it directly from an article that was done in the Jamaica Observer um, a couple of years ago that described that family. It's 2016 the article was done that described that family as they are regarded as next to royalty and they are land rich, and he is a land developer before even politician, while even being a politician. So when I dig up articles back from 2016, read and confirm and pass the information on, me no want nobody in the comment section I talk about SouFLo, him not rich, him broke. I'm wife rich. Is his wife was born into money, not him. Is him. His wife might be rich too, but he was born into money. I say that to say this. I don't want to pass around false information about people because now me end up in a place at Jamaica, the St. Mary, St. Anne. Them place are nice enough. And I'm over there having my joy and excitement. And next thing you know, if people big, if you know how Jamaica run, right? You know that a prominent family from a certain area, if you have beef with that family, don't go in that area because anything can happen to you. And I know some people are gonna be like, "Nah, I think you paranoid a little bit." No, that's exactly how Jamaica run. If you have beef with the Moccasins and the Moccasins lock down St. Mary, take your ass away from St. Mary. Don't go through there because I'm telling you that your face is already put out there and there's people there that will do you stuff on behalf of. You understand? So you see through me not try sow these kind of bad seeds. I want when people see me, this is what people say when they see me in public. Them say, boy, I never like the way they do me in that story they still, you know. I'm say, how me do you? And he said, I show you talk still. That's what they say. I show you talk still, but John knows SouFLo. Boy, you just put it on. They never meet me yet and say, hey, liar boy, why you make up them kind of something about my family? Why you tell all them lied about my father, about my brother? You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. If you tell the truth, and truth is all you work with, and if you don't know, you act like you don't know, or if you are going to hypothetically speak and say, well, maybe it could have been this, could have been that, and you let your audience, you're clear and clean with your delivery, you know, I'm nothing for really fear. Cause even the people them who are doing wrong and mix up in things, when them see me out the road, them say, yo, my youth, let's hold it down, man. Let's go on, man. So flow I do run them party and them, I want to keep it just like that. With that said, I took that long route to explain this just to say there's an article out there and a rumor out there. I went to go dig up the article to match the rumor, and I'm going to clarify. So, what people want to know first, we have a whole heap of things to talk about this morning, you know, because a lot of stuff went down in the Beachy Stout trial yesterday as well. So, we don't get to that yet. We're going to deal with Jolyan Silvera stuff first. A lot of stuff went down in a theme trial as well yesterday. But let's start with the killing of the neighbor's dog. Somebody came on this channel and said, and it's still there in the comment section under one of the videos. SouFLo, that family is not a nice family, you know. The next person say, if you tell about them, they're not friendly and them not like people and all kind of something. I'm not gonna say that about them. Other people might know them as the nicest set of people that ever existed. You see what I'm saying? Right. So with that said, I went, did some little research and dig up something. And this was actually from 2016. This article was put out. My confessions. I poisoned my neighbor's dog. I'm going to read the article to you. Then I'm going to tell you what the problem is. Pay attention, you know. Pay attention. All right. Serious business today. No comedy. Angel D says you're not his neighbor. I'm everybody's neighbor there. My friend. I'm everybody's neighbor. Once you start look by yourself as everybody's neighbor, you will start to conduct yourself with some level of responsibility because you could be anywhere at any time and they will be right there. That's what I've learned. When me step off of the plane in Jamaica, when I'm in Miami, when I'm in any part of Florida, when I'm in Texas, it don't matter where I go. I'll be in Atlanta. people are pop up now from everywhere. So I'm now everybody's neighbor. You know what I mean? The neighbor would know more. That's what I mean. The neighbor would know more. But how that dropping at this? How the neighbor would more? Neighbor is not just the person living next. How what that mean? But the neighbor would know more. Let me go on with the story. Because we don't know which neighbor. Because the man have multiple properties and different neighbors from different properties. But I said follow the story because you see, this is where okay, let me be clear. This is where I'm gonna spoon feed it. This is where the problem is. People are going around saying SouFLo is not a nice person, you know. A next person said, I see a man that will kill him neighbor them dog. Them people, they're not good people. Right. So I went and I looked and I dug up and I researched and searched, but couldn't find nothing. And boom, there it was. In a Jamaican newspaper, it says, my confession, I poisoned my neighbor's dog. After I read last week's confession about the man who used his car for a toilet, I remember how my neighbor's dog used to use my front yard as a toilet. The dog bore a hole in the fence that separated our yard and him come over we yard and cause all sorts of problems. Him mash down my mother flowers, him draw garbage in the yard, and him bark after we in our own pace. But the worst part is that him used to put down one big load right on the front gate. I was so bad. It was so bad that me really have to wonder if it's the dog or multiple persons that come use the front gate as toilet. But I saw with my own eyes that it was the big black mongrel dog from next door. Every time we talk to him owner, the man cuss we off. One morning, me accidentally stepping a fresh load of it when I was leaving for church. I was so upset that I went straight to my neighbors about it. The man says, if it a bother you so much, me must go nyam it up. If it Yo, Jamaican people are too right, you know. Some of them will tell you that here. Yo, if it a bother you so much, you must go nyam it up. You know what? I just said no more. No more Satan. No more. And I got my ways because I had a plan to put a stoppage to all of it. That night, I warm up some milk and I crush out some rat poison in it. Then season some rice, season rice, warm up some milk, crush out some rat poison in it, season some rice with pyro, insect spray, and feed it to him. But make sure, say me run go back over, feed me yard, go dead. As the morning light, me hear the neighbor cuss on top of him voice that we kill Fim dog. But him never dare come to me about it because me, who would I tell him the same thing that he told me. Gonyam it. All right. Here's where the problem lies. If you type into Google, Jolyan Silvera kills his neighbor's dog. I don't know who set this up like this. If you type into Google, Jolyan Silvera kills his neighbor's dog, you are going to get this article right here. No joke. Right? Now, if somebody was telling you, yo, the youth, the SouFLo, and a good somebody, you know, may I tell you, I just know him just now. Let me tell you, 2014, the youth there, rape a woman down in Miami and kill a man. And then you go and look it up. What is SouFLo's real name? And then you look up him real name, and then you say, murder, something, rape, Miami, Florida, and boom, an article pops up that gives you all this right here. You would go away thinking, aha, I found the truth. So it's true the person was telling. Here's the problem. Typing this man's name into the server, Google server, and it giving you this story. There's nothing in this story that says this story came from Jolyan Silvera or his neighbor or is even connected to him in any way. But for some reason, because when you type his name in, you get this story from the Jamaica Star. I mix up again. Because you when you type his name in, you get this story. I didn't get the story any other way. Me erase it, me type in him full name again. This how me get. So I'm like, who the hell attached his name to this? And that could explain why somebody in our comment section was saying SouFlo and a nice people them. And the next person answered that person and said, that is the guy that kill him neighbor them dog. Me no business with him or something like that. And next person said, kill him neighbor them dog. That is why I went to go look up. Did he kill his neighbor's dogs? Because you got to understand, right? Right now, it's looking like he killed his wife. Right now, the best thing that his attorneys are doing, are going to have to do, is try to paint him as an individual who is not off the off the hinges. He's not crazy. He doesn't go around killing the neighbor's dogs. He's not a vicious, violent person. Because if that picture is painted that he is, then a jury could easily see that. Well, I guess him killing neighbor dog is a killy kind of guy. Him kill him 2-year-old son at the pool in and go on like an accident. See them kill him wife too is a natural progression. Sociopaths normally do that. Some of them, they start from animals and then they graduate to humans, right? So in the grand scheme of things, it's a shady look because, again, nothing in the article says it is him. So I don't know how the Star published this or why it is connecting. I don't not publish it, but I don't know why it is connecting to his name. Right, and that's why people are running. That's why people are running with it and are saying he's the one who kill him neighbor dog. Yeah, them man they are wicked people and I saw them stay a long time. They're not nice people. Very interesting, Yvonne Wallace. Very interesting. When I found it yesterday, I tell wifey, I say, yo, be able to look at that story. The story about the man killing neighbor dog. I read the story more and went into the story, and then I started to look for like when it was published and anything that might attach him to it, or where it says that this was an interview with him or a letter in from him to the Star or anything. Was this his neighbor's complaint? Something, nothing. There's absolutely nothing other than you type his name in and type in killing neighbor's dog, and this is what you get. If you type my name in and type in killing my neighbor's dog, you're not going to get this story. If you type your name in and type in killing your neighbor's dog, you're not going to get this story. So I don't know. I don't know. But just so you don't go around passing out false information, because there's a lot of people out here that's doing that, they will take the story. Remember, we talked about this before. They will sensationalize the story to the max, and then they will come back. See, even yesterday, somebody is in my personal email now telling me, says, SouFlo, it is absolutely true. She gets shoot in her pum pum. All I'm asking everybody who keeps saying that is, where did you get that information from? Right? Where did you get that information from? Just tell me the source so I can go verify it. This is how I speak. This was printed in the Star, July 22nd, 2016. My confession, I poisoned my neighbor's dog. You can go look it up. Right, so you don't go away saying that boy they lie, he be making up stuff. Go and go look it up. So if you're gonna come on here, please, I respect my platform and I respect the people that come here so much that I don't want to play with serious stuff. And I'm not one of those. I don't need to sensationalize a story to get views or nothing like that, right? We like to keep it 100% true as far as we know. And we like to point to our source so people themselves can go see where we're getting the information from. You understand? Kind of we make it up. Right. So I don't understand this. Oh, she up in her, hold them, she shoot her, and him kill him neighbor dog. And I could see where these are coming from, just like I told you yesterday, where I think the up in our orifices came from right here. But it's from us hypothetically speaking. and an individual in the comment section said, if them can't find bullet entrance wounds on the body, maybe it was in one of her lower orifices. I replied and said, in our body or pum pum? And the person said, yeah. Next day, me wake up, she was shot in our pum pum. She was in our two in our pum pum, one in our body hole. I'm like, yo. And then it's gone to so many different platforms. Some of y'all not honest either. And you empower these false narratives because you will go somewhere and you will hear that and you won't even ask them where you get that information from. You will take that piece of information, you will come back over here and you will start sprinkling it all through my comment section. Now, some ignorant people who come by, drive by and see, one of them see that over here, they're like, yep, SouFLoTV them say that's where it happened. So I must true. Because I know them man if you tell truth. They don't sit and listen to this part of the conversation right here, right? So now it's everywhere that in our pum pum should get shot in our body. Listen, if it is true that is what choose your words wisely. I understand how we work. Jamaica is a place like this. If you're trying to hide your information, like for instance, me, if I'm trying to hide my age, my personal address, my full name, you could see how damaging and dangerous all that could be, right? So if I'm trying to hide that, guess who is going to sell that to the public or sell that to people? I fly into Jamaica all the time. I fly out of Jamaica all the time, right? It's going to be that mother effer at the airport who is a fellow Jamaican who greet you. What go on, SouFLo? You're reaching, man. Stamp, sign. So when you're staying for the vacation, you're coming for vacation. Yeah, man, everything good and they're pencil whipping while they're talking. So everything good. Yeah, man. So when you pass me the stamp, listen, one. Yeah, so when you're leaving, oh, all right, me see, pass me passport there. Okay, right there, so. All right, man, me see you bring your family with you and everything. And them look for your wife, good. Them look for your picnic, them good. Them get a good description of, you know. And then next thing you know, them sell it to somebody. Me can't tell you which part him stay when him did come here. Him did I want a house up a Richmond, something there, and I want gated community over so and so. He was over here and here by there and there, cause that him put on the farm, right? Me don't know who I gonna follow me around when me up on the island, and I don't know who have any drama or beef with me, and I also don't know. So you see how it becomes a very paranoid thing. These people are the people that will sell out the whole of your information them. Before you cover the story, SouFLo, that was the word on the street. No evidence, but that is what it said. Where? Everybody keeps saying that, but tell me where they can't. That's the part that gets me. Stop repeating it to me if you're going to not tell me where. All I'm asking you is where. You must know which part you get that from. You must know where you got something like that from. Great goodies. You understand what I say? Because if you ask me where I get certain information from, I can tell you, and I do tell you. So please tell me where you're getting this from. This is where the dishonesty is. The dishonesty lies in the people who love the sensationalized stories, and they know they went to a site that sensationalized stories, so they will not tell you where they got it from. Because as soon as they mention the site, you're going to be able to say, come on now, right? Or you're going to be able to go verify or something. So nobody wants to tell you where. But up till now, nobody has said where, and the numbers are multiplying. Now, Great Goodies just said, before you even cover the story, how? I've been covering the story since day one of the story breaking. So how was that put out before I covered the story? Answer that, Great Goodies. Answer that now. If I've been covering the story from the day the story broke, how is it possible that that was put out before I covered the story? You heard it on Andre. So now people are putting up names. You heard it on Andre Stevens. Okay. This is why I just gave you an analogy, and I just said, okay, like I'm traveling through the airport and I'm trying to hide all my information, keep it private. And the person at the airport where I say, yo, what, I'm SouFLo, you reach home. Yeah, man, welcome on them thing there, come for vacation. It's the same way in Jamaica. You're going to have people in professional positions who have connections to people in other areas who might be leaking information out to them. You understand? Like you might know a friend that is a mortician, you might know a friend that is a doctor that works in a certain field. You might know a friend from the inside who is in your circle who said, "Don't call me name, no so flow." But me I tell you, me there work yesterday and we look over the body and think and yeah, in our she get shot. But you're gonna hear it later, right? This is why I'm saying to y'all, if it happens to be so, then it'll come out later and we will get it from a credible source. But anybody who is telling me this information, me can't use it because unless I'm gonna say that's what the streets are saying, right? So when I ask where is it coming from, I want to know who told you that, how them source that information. But hey, there we go. The first person to say where they got it from, I heard it on Andre Steven. Pussy Galore says, "Country girl, SouFLo, guess what sells more than anything else? Sensationalized stories, made up stuff, lies, sex. We've been talking about that for a while." Great Goody says, "The same day the story broke, I heard it over another channel." Here she goes. And what is that other channel, Great Goodies? So because it was said on PDTV, don't make it true. Crystal G, the founder don't know how to argue or don't know how to um organize your conversation. I never said because it was said on PDTV, it wasn't true. I said some people have connections to people in professional circles. If anything, I'm actually saying it could very well be true. Didn't I just say that? I just said you might have a friend that's a doctor or a mortician or something, and the friend said to you, "I call me name in a so flow, but me there work today, and I we look over the body and stuff. Me can tell you in our something something she get it from, right? Didn't I just say that? Okay. So immediately now, when I start fact checking, what's gonna happen is here are gonna come the ninjas for their favorite platforms to be like, "Way I tried to talk about my platform for what? So because it was on PDTV, it wasn't true, or because it was." I'm not saying that. I never said that. And in the beginning, before you even said PDTV or anything, I said it could very well be true. But if I'm not getting it from a credible source, I will not pass it around. That's what I say. You said it, but not in those words, my friend. You asking if it's on PDTV, if it's not true. That's exactly what you're saying. I'm implying, and I have to clarify that. I clearly said. So I just repeated myself. I clearly said it could possibly be true. That's why I went the long route explaining me trying to hide my information, and the person who's gonna give it away is the person who sees it at the airport. When you meet that person could say, "Me know when SouFLoTV living up. Me can't tell you exactly which part him address there. Me can't tell you exactly how old him is. Me can't tell you exactly this, that, and the other." You might look at them and say, "I lie you tell, because you don't even know the man." And he goes, "Brother, at the airport, me work. I'm the one that take people in and book their flight, book them in as they come in. So impasse me when you see what I'm saying? It's the same way them could come by that information. It's a very credible way, actually, of coming by that piece of information. That's all me I say. So we don't know how they got the information because maybe they're protecting their sources. Maybe they were asked to not say where they got it from, etc., etc. Or maybe it could just all be a lie. We don't know, but we can't bank on it until it comes from a credible source. Right. You see when time the trials start, you see when they start going into documents in the court, if that's the case, it will all come out. For instance, Beachy Stout wife, when she first passed, she was stabbed up and she get shot up and she cut her throat and then burn her up. I mean, I said, damn, them do all kind of something to this woman. Them take time for shoot her, stab her, burn her, choke throat, and the only reason why them cut her up and stuff is because the gunshot wasn't supposed to be in there and all this initially. Don't you see? Eventually, it came down to them giving us every bit of detail. She was stabbed in the chest 10 times. It's the same thing that's going to happen in this case. So I'm going to rush the information because it's going to come out. It's not going to benefit me to know early if she gets shot in her pum pum. So I go around and tell everybody she gets shot in her pum pum. And then it come out, she got 3 shots in her head, or she got 3 shots in her side, in her rib cage. Then people are gonna come back and look at us like, you a clown, yo. You make up these stories and talk about the woman get shot. Look at the police report that just got released. Look at the court documents that just got released. Nothing like what you were saying. So that's what I'm saying. We have to protect our credibility, right? Right. Country Girl says this is why a lot of court cases in Jamaica that should have been a slam dunk end up with the guilty walking away. Nah, Chief Justice Judge Sykes already told us why the court cases that should have been a slam dunk end up with people walking away. And it has to do with our law enforcement officials, investigative branches, who are supposed to gather evidence in a certain particular manner. They fail to do so all the time. And that ends in, yes, you caught the bad guy. Yes, you arrested him, but you did not make your case in court. So now I have to let him go. That. Just plain and simple. Elaine Brown says, I heard it on Andre too, but I didn't take it serious. Listen, it might, let me repeat again, it might very well be true. It might very well be true. But I don't want nobody attach my name to that part there, because me not say it's true until I have credible evidence that it is true, or credible information from a credible source. If the Jamaica Constabulary Force Investigative Branch or the court puts out to the media that piece of information, then I will tell you, Ted, what a wicked man. Yo, when did that for now? Now I will start to have a conversation about what could make a man put a gun there so and fire there so into a woman. But we're not going to start that conversation without me first getting the information from a credible source. That's why I act. Listen, over here, is an exchange of information that goes on. I respect every one of you here because you're all intelligent people. So when you come here, SouFLoTV are one person. Yeah, I do a lot of reading and research and digging and stuff, but you might have a piece of information I don't. So I gladly open up and listen to you as well and take into consideration what's said as well. But I'm a person that fact checks a lot. And I want you to be the same kind of person. I want you to vet your source. I've always said that on this platform. Vet your source. When I'm passing information on to other people, I don't just grab it from over here so and throw it over there so. And I learned that from earlier starting this channel. I used to rush to do stories. I wanted to be the first one to break them. I used to call people. I used to have people hitting me up online. People that say, yeah, man, SouFlo around on my part, that just happened 2 houses down from me. Let me tell you what really happened. So I would run to YouTube and I would do my videos. And some of those videos later on came out. That's not what happened. So I found myself having to backtrack and now say, okay, this is the right thing what happened. Then I had to explain to people and say, listen, I'm a credible person. So if I give you something and it's false, I'm man enough to come back and say that it's false. And here is the real thing. So what I started doing was to say, you know how you save the apologies by just not doing wrong in the first place? If you never do nothing wrong and have nothing to apologize for, that's the approach I started taking. So this is trial and error for me. And I've been perfecting this for a while now. Because I only did that about 4 or 5 videos when we first started and learned my lesson early. So I said, no, I can't do that. Then I changed the channel around to, we don't do breaking news. We do discussion based on credible information. That's what we do over here. You see how it changed? It went from breaking news, because people used to be like, boy, you're late with that. So and so dropped that yesterday already. I said I could talk this next year and it would still be on point, because I don't do breaking news. If you want breaking news, go Gleaner, Observer, Loop, TVJ, CVM. Hell, go to America. Go CNN, Fox, MSNBC. Them the breaking news. I'm discussing what is happening based on credible information that is presented to us. That means our conversation then makes sense. If you sit there and you just talk about hypothetical and what John said and what Keisha did say and when we did hear over Deso and when them say back over Yaso, your conversation is not going to be sensible after a while. You see what I say? All right. It's not about being first, it's about the facts. King Biggs. Exactly. Exactly. So we've been working at this for a while, man. Now back to what we started with. Did Jolyan Silvera poison his neighbor's dogs? Clearly, plain and put, there is an article in the Jamaica Star that was printed July 22nd, 2016 that has to do with somebody confessing to poisoning their neighbor's dogs. And I do not know why. When you put Jolyan Silvera's name into the search engine, that story comes up with his name. There's nothing that says the story is about him. But because you put his name and you get the story, people are reading the story and then going to social media and saying him is a wicked man because a long time him do certain things and him kill him neighbor dog and so on and so forth. I found no credibility in that story as it connects to him. Funny story. It's funny to even read it, but it doesn't connect to him. All right? Right. So when you hear it next time, just say, nah, SouFLo already debunked that. He already told us exactly where that come from, and it don't have no connection to do with him. You have to be a person who willing to spread truth to, Yeah, because some people don't like spread truth. Them keep the truth and then them go enjoy lies with other people and them roll around in the lie and them love you. You know, like how pig roll around in a mud and them love the lie and them roll up in it and them share piece of the lie, yeah, so and share piece back there. So, but they're not telling anybody that I actually know the truth. So I don't want to be one of them people there. Me just want you to spread truth. Because when you spread truth, then there's nothing to argue about later. There's nothing to, I misspoke. Now I have to apologize and I have to go look for real information. You talk truth from beginning, you're good to go. Right? Right. The streets are always going to gossip too, which will a good segue now to reach into this other part of the story. Here's a good segue. Silvera's legal team has their job cut out for them. Yesterday, I saw Peter Champagny on a video, and he was talking, begging the crowd, I beg of you, I implore you, I'm asking you, I'm not trying to violate your constitutional rights, your right to free speech, but think about the children, he said. And yeah, I thought about it, and I was like, damn, children are involved in this, for real, for real. But right now is a time where the family needs to be around those children. Those children shouldn't have free reign on social media right now, given the climate of what is going on. Them daddy, they're on front page for the murder of their mom. People are going to talk. He is a prominent politician, whether you want to say he is an ex-prominent no, he's a prominent politician. He was still working as a politician all the way up until mid-December of 2023 when the JCF finally went public and said, we are now treating this as a murder. That's when Mark Golding them cut him from the People's National Party. So go on over there, so, right? Because, common sense. A lady said to me yesterday, very shame of you for what you're saying. How does this become something political? I said, lady, shame on you for your dunceness to not see how this becomes. Sometimes you just have to be direct with people, right? Can you call long shame on me because I said this can be something political. This is going to be something political. I clearly said if I was Andrew Holness right now, I would have called election right now. I would ride the. Let me tell you, wicked. Just like how I come here and tell y'all, if I was his attorney, I would say this. If I was Andrew Holness right now, I would call this election right now. I would push from behind the scenes, from closed doors, for every dirty piece of information concerning this case to be leaked out to the public. Then I would push from behind the scenes using all my media links to have it linked not only to Jolyan Silvera, but to the whole political party as well, and try to make everybody over there look like them do the same something, and then I would call the Ross election right now. It's called strategy, my friend. See, if you don't want to win, step out the way. Politics is a dirty game, so let's play dirty. This is how I would do it. Now, as far as all that goes, talking about the children and all that, a piece of advice for the people who are around those children: keep them away from social media. That's it. The world has changed. This ain't back in the day where newspaper run the day. And you can't say, well, we don't have a copy of the newspaper, so the children won't see it and they're homeschooled, so they're fine. No, keep them away from social media, because this is going to be all over the media. And to the lady who said this can't be political and she's ashamed of me, lady, me no know you. Me no care if you're shame of me. Me shame of your inability to see how this could not be political. It's a politician that is charged, a prominent politician, as ex-member of parliament, that is charged with his wife's murder. His wife also worked alongside politicians representing the People's National Party. She did. Him get charged. VM gun, ballistics come back, says it kill her. Now, yesterday, new news broke that another prominent politician's wife is being questioned by police and is being cooperative with this investigation. And when you go further down in the article, it says two more, five, two more prominent politicians. Two of them used to be members of parliament as well, and they are now still prominent members of the People National Party. How is that not involved in politics? You're slow. You are slow. So don't come cry shame upon me. I'm just pointing out sense to the people. Me like when time people leave here, they go away talking sense. Right? Right. King Biggs, big up yourself. King Biggs says, brethren, I like to wait for you or Shakira's coverage because you put in the work and it is much appreciated. And I've followed your page and seen the growth, protection, and love. Aya. King Biggs, big up yourself. Manners and respect, and I appreciate you greatly, bro. Now, listen. Tell me, so this now going to affect the upcoming election. The people are going to look, and they're... Remember, I know a lot of the people are on the fence. And our people quickly forget. So you see who I talk about, road no fix from when, and the jobs them now pay much. It's $89.89 a week for a 40-hour work week in Jamaica. Yeah, you work a whole 40-hour work week in Jamaica. I'm still baffled by that alone. I am. You work a full 40-hour work week in Jamaica, a security guard turn up whole day and roam building all day. And bad man, I look upon you like, yo, we want to rob the place, but a boy there and him have a firearm on him too. So, yo, maybe for brush him and take with the firearm, you putting your life in danger for under $100 per week. Right. So everybody is going to be looking at all these things, boy. Everything price gone up except wages. The road them now fix, this now and that not matching up. Me I go vote PNP. Boom! This big thing at scandal drop. Connected deeply to the PNP now. You know what the people are doing now? Them I say, wait there. Hold on. Because but as things be over upon the green side, we never hear nothing like this going over there. So I'm leaning back over to this side. Yeah. And they're easy to jump ship, as you can see. So yes, this is going to be turned into something political. See? With that said, the defense team for murder accused and former St. Mary Western Member of Parliament, Jolyan Silvera, headed by King's Counsel Peter Champagne, says that they have work to do as per instructions as their client maintains his innocence. Boom, another one. Somebody out there saying he has a full confession out, and yes, them get him already, him do it, but him just not say why him do it. And I looked at the person's video because it pop up next to mine, and under their comment section, somebody is saying, all me want to know is why. The man never said he did it. They got his gun matches. New information came out yesterday saying he is also now charged with tampering with evidence And I broke down in the video I put up, go watch it, about the ballistics of a gun and a gun's fingerprint and how you can mess with the gun to make the gun not match its original fingerprint. Kind of think of it like this. I'm from the rough era of Brooklyn. I know ninjas that used to sell drugs, and them ninjas, when they get arrested, the first thing them do when them leg of their hand, them bite off them own fingerprint. Got 10 fingers bleeding. No lie. Got 10 fingers bleeding. Now, when they go and they say to you, put your finger right here, print, roll, print, roll, print, roll, print, roll. A real thing, I tell you now. The next time you pick me up, them fingerprints don't match my fingerprint. Or you couldn't even fingerprint me because my 10 fingers were bleeding, right? It's the same thing, the ballistics, as far as a gun goes. Every gun has its own fingerprint. And for those of you who don't know, another person said yesterday, stop educating these criminals, SouFLo, especially about the gun stuff and the fingerprint of a gun. Hear me out. It is hard to educate the room without educating the criminals in the room. It's hard to educate the masses without educating the criminals sprinkled amongst the masses. That's just like a teacher coming to class, and the teacher has 30 students in the class, and the teacher has to deliver a lesson for the day. And the teacher said, let me figure out how to get the 25 picnic them to learn everything, but I don't want the other 5 learn it because them might use it the wrong way. You can't do it. They're going to be there learning it, right? I know that a majority of us are not criminals, or we won't go to that extent of criminality. So I put the information out there so everybody is on the same page and your conversations sound intelligent when you have them away from this platform. Right. So with that said, now he's now charged with evidence tampering, which means according to the law in Jamaica, printed in mass media, says that the gun was altered, as in they tried to mess with the fingerprint of the gun to make it not match the ballistics. I want y'all to know something. Every gun that is bought legally, notice me never say on the street, every gun that is bought legally that came through a legal entity to you, it's licensed to you, you have your paperwork to carry it, that gun fingerprint is already stored in a government database. That means if you take your legal firearm and go bust it over St. Mary and then go back to Clarendon, if they check the database, it's going to tell them that it was your gun, and that gun comes from so-and-so that live over so, but him come use it over here. Now they're coming to you. Where's your gun? Here, I have it right here. Do you? We're gonna need to confiscate your gun for about a week or 2 because we're gonna send it for ballistic testing because it's coming back matching. We're not saying you did anything, but it's coming back matching some crime scene over in another parish. Okay, and you give them the gun. Them come back and them say, hey, turn around, put your hands behind your back, blah, blah, blah. Where were you on this, and the other? I was right here. Well, there's no way you could be just right here. Did you lend your gun to somebody? Because hey, this is a solid piece of evidence, right? That's how it works. What happened in his case seems like the man was too confident. Whoever them make do the gun to mess up the fingerprint. He actually thought it would work. Y'all remember me telling you? I said there's no way they're gonna find that his gun killed his wife. He's not that dumb. If he used his own gun, he wouldn't be holding on to it. Came back that it was his gun. May I wonder why him did so brave to give them the murder weapon like that. Right. But on to this. Silvera, a one-term People's National Party legislator, land developer. He's 52 years old, and he's charged with the murder of his 42-year-old wife, and she's also the mother of 3 of his children, Melissa. He has maintained his position of innocence from day one, and this is his attorney speaking. Peter Champagne said he has maintained his position of innocence from day one. I am not saying that he is. Hey, you gonna be my lawyer or not, King's Counsel? Hi, why are you in the media talking about? I am not saying that he is. When I saw that last night, I was like, so what I try to say? Usually a lawyer comes with confidence, even when them know from behind the scenes, right? We watch enough of these movies and enough of these shows where the lawyer says to his client, listen, I need you to be truthful with me because I don't want anything new popping up later on and I can't save you from it. This is lawyer client confidentiality. Anything you say to me, I cannot reveal it to the public or anybody else. The most I can do is step away from this case and let somebody else handle it. But if you lie to me and new stuff come up and we're broadsided, I cannot save you. Enough of them people here confess to them liars, say, look, okay, I did it. I did. You know what I mean? And then from there, let's take this call real quick. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
Not too bad. Before me get into the nitty gritty, this year I'm on fasting and SouFLo.
Yeah, that may I tell you.
John, cause the week done quick.
But the month almost done.
But I guess because it was so much of drama-filled month, we just distracted by everything, so I just breeze fast.
Yeah. A lot going on.
Jolyan Silvera, hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly,
Yeah, Jolyan.
Yeah, sound like a girl name still, but anyways.
That's what I said too.
Because sometimes we get mixed up, sometimes I wonder if I the lady name whatever, and then me catch myself and say, no, that is Melissa,
Right. And at first I thought it was Jodian, but it's Jolyan.
Because when the boy care posted someone named SouFLo, I said the woman posted up on Facebook, because I'm like a girl, isn't me? And I said, oh no, the man name so.
Right.
But anyways, particularly his case, right? What I'm saying? Actually, it does look better than the People's National Party. And let me tell you something. You see, politicians, they keep that stuff in house, isn't it? Especially when stuff.
Your phone not too clear. I want you to be clear.
You can hear me now?
Yeah, talk now.
Yeah, I'm saying the government officials, right? They're friends at the end of the day, and whenever stuff happens, they tend to keep it in house,
Right.
So when things like this happen, they hear rumors and people talk within the inner circles. And when this happened, right, under the suspicious circumstances, Silvera was on the campaign trail with Mark Golden.
Right.
And it's not a rumor. Pictures are there, so it is a fact.
Right.
And for me, in the political atmosphere of Jamaica, my main problem with politicians and how we hold politicians accountable is that whenever they're involved in anything illegal and questions are brought up against them, why are they still in office? They're never yet suspended. They're never yet asked to step aside for a period of time until the investigation for whatever the circumstance is done.
Right.
They're bold and brave faced to still be in the eyes of the public.
Right.
And it's almost like say the public not to question them and whatever involvement them have in illegal activities. Also, Jamaica is not a country that is known for holding politicians accountable. One man never see them throw under the bus, and a Karen Spencer.
Right. Jamaica is not a country known for holding any prominent individual responsible, period. Not just politician, but you see, if you're money tall and you come from a certain lineage, just know say it's highly unlikely that you're gonna get into like you're gonna do prison time per se.
When I like to use that word so for prominent people.
Yeah.
Because that is what it is.
Yeah. What I don't like is when lawyer just said though. This is my attorney attack and my attorney come and say he has maintained his position of innocence from day one. I am not saying he is. I would be like, hey, hold on there. What are you talking about? Come here, man. You're my attorney. You're supposed to go out there brave and bold and say he has maintained his innocence from day one. And as his attorney, I believe him. And I've been looking into this. Yes, things look a bit shady right now, but we're going to work our way through this. And I promise you the truth will come out. give it some time to prevail, so on and so forth, and just keep on going with that air of confidence. But for your attorney, especially a person like Peter Champagne, come on, Peter Champagne buff up him chest big, and he has a right to do so, because the man name called upon almost everything, and he's able to, if not get you free, get your time significantly reduced. So he has that reputation, and he's always seemed confident in front of a camera. So when him come and say he has maintained his position of innocence from day one, I am not saying that he is. That's like he's kind of like pulling himself away from it slowly, like just in case this ship starts sinking, just know I'm jumping. Can me tell you from
But by
morning
any
that
chance,
I
Mr.
wasn't saying
Champagne
he is.
Has political affiliation to the JLP? By any slight chance? And you said that they will turn this into a political thing, and I know that whenever that time comes in a SouFLo, this will be a topic of discussion. Look at the People's National Party, a party with people who are murderers, and their character is being brought into question. Labor rights, stand up, people of Jamaica, stand up and look at them. That is what it will be.
Yeah.
The headlines will be all written over the Jamaica Green and Star and all these publications.
Any side you take it, because listen, again, if you watch the video I put up yesterday, using what's the guy name who just lost, Philip Paulwell, using Philip Paulwell's case as an example, right? They were eager to put Philip Paulwell. They were like, we are calling for the resignation of. They were already calling for his resignation. Okay, so they were already using it as political ammunition already. So now that the script has flipped, you think they're not gonna be like, you frigga, yo? Yeah, you did that thump me when me did fall down. You fall down now, you'll get some ass thump and kick. They're gonna use it, period, as political ammunition. And honestly, rightfully so.
When a Jamaican tell us that them spirit not take somebody. Now, Mr. Silvera can maintain his innocence and he has all right, right?
Right.
And Jamaican people must say, I said, oh, I'm not take one pass so for.
I don't know why my spirit just not take him.
And some actually pick up something, They probably can pinpoint, but later on down the line, they realize, what? SouFLo, I waste man that man.
That's when them come back later and say, no, that's why I never like him from morning,
I don't know the man personally, but I saw a video of him at the funeral SouFLo. And the man face pan towards the camera.
And then him start ball and no tears.
My spirit not take him SouFLo. You see evil. Whether him pull the trigger or somebody else, because why I refurbish the place for? Or what the word be? Why I change out the room for them? You see me?
Okay, let's talk rumors. Let's talk rumors. So somebody said yesterday under the comment section, all these comments are left there for you to see. They said, SouFLo, all the stuff that was taken from the house, the furniture and stuff, in order to refurbish the house, it was actually put in a shed on the same property. So if this is true, because I'm not saying it's true, I'm saying that comment was made. If it is true, then them just give them more evidence right there. So I mean, I thought he could have never be as dumb enough to keep the gun that he used to kill her, if he did indeed kill her with his gun, and his gun came back to match. So now I'm like, well, and probably move the furniture them far away, and then boom, the furniture them they in our shed in the same yard. Like, this wasn't really planned out too good, was it? Or are you so connected that you feel like you were gonna get away with this? You just had to tweak a little few things. I don't know.
You used the word connected, right? I don't know if it was on your platform. I saw a comment, or maybe on Instagram and a publication where somebody said, I wonder if the plan was to actually cremate her.
That's another comment where somebody said yesterday again. Look at the video that I put up yesterday, guys. The same video has all these comments. Somebody said last night we put up the video. It's probably up about 12 hours now. Somebody said under that comment section that he wanted to cremate her speedily without an autopsy. And it was PJ Patterson, who is her godfather, that stepped in and said, nah, we're not going to do that. We want a proper autopsy done first. And then I'll respect those wishes if that is how y'all want to take care of it, cremation or whatever. And once the autopsy was done, then the bullet wounds were found. The fragments were found.
I heard rumors about the family saying when it was reported that she died in her sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard rumors and noise that her family said, die in her sleep. What do you mean die in her sleep? You know, somebody would have died and say, no man, I forgot to investigate this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I heard rumors.
So
I saw an article. It was
it
a
is a
cousin
good
of
thing.
hers. It was a cousin of hers that did an interview that was visiting from this overseas from the U.S. and she had just left Jamaica. And so the cousin did an interview with a media house, and the cousin said died of natural causes. She was fit. She was in good shape, and we just left. We met every day. We went out to dinner. We just had went to a couple of functions and whatever. I was around her the whole time. No signs of anything. So this is very weird to us. That's what sparked.
But let me
Also,
tell you, I'm confident so far because he have enough connections to think that would have gotten away with it, you know?
yeah, that's what I
And
think too.
and listen,
But
with how
these are just
Jamaica
my
is in,
thoughts.
yeah, with how the country is in a so far and him being a political figure, who knows? Probably still might get away with it, you know?
Yeah, wrap it up for
Because
me,
even
brother. Make we go back into this car.
the,
Me have a lot to
the,
cover.
the last point is so flow. Philip Powell, me can't believe someone innocent when him a go offer 500,000 for safe return at the baby mother and the baby. That's sound like innocent man.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
Well,
that's
what you
half a
know,
million
if
dollars.
the average Jamaican can pick up $1 million for one person, and
Mm-hmm.
this is a political figure, but bless up still.
All right, manners and respect. Yeah, pan the Philip Paulwell thing. I don't want nobody mix me here, cause they say that no evidence points to Philip Paulwell being a part of. So I'm not going to keep dragging his name through it. He has been cleared. Let's leave it that way. That he was cleared, and I don't see where he's involved. So his lawyer, he has maintained his innocence from day one, and I am not saying that he is. This is what Peter Champagne said, but he went on to say no lawyer should ever really say that because if you were so certain then you would actually be a witness. That's funny because one of the most popular cases going on right now is the YSL RICO trial with Young Thug out in Atlanta, Georgia. And I remember Young Thug's attorney getting in front of the camera, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, so on and so forth. And he said, my client is innocent and I'm going to fight to my last breath, tooth and nail, to clear him of all these charges. So, like I said, I've seen attorneys many times exude a whole lot of confidence in their client's innocence from the beginning. I've never really seen an attorney say, I don't really know. I'm not saying he is. And I've never seen Peter Champagne do it before until now. So that's weird if you read between the lines like I'm doing. But he went on to say, but certainly what I can say with great emphasis is that he is indicating that he is innocent. He is indicating. The man set him innocent, brother. You just said in the first line, he has maintained his position of innocence. Now you're saying, I'm not saying he is, but he is indicating that he is. How do you indicate that you're innocent? You say you're innocent, right? Right. Anyhow, we have our instructions. We have our jobs to do, says Peter Champagne. He was speaking with journalists outside the Supreme Court and said on time, ultimately, it was for the court and members of jury to determine whether his client is innocent or not, which is true. That's not my role. Our role is to provide a defense as per our instructions. Whatever our instructions lead us, that's where we go. Wherever our instructions lead us, that's where we go. He said, within the confines, always acknowledging and consistent with the canons of the profession and the rules and ethics. The matter is again set for February 8th, so Jolyan Silvera will be back in court February 8th. And Champagne said that he was waiting for certain documents to be disclosed to the defense. Yes, his constitutional rights, anything they have that can be used against him, needs to also be shared with his attorney so his attorneys can mount a proper defense and fight against whatever it is that's coming up in court against him. They can't blindside you with stuff in court, and that's just the way the law works. The file is incomplete, and there's a particular document that we need to inspect to determine the way forward in the way of an application for bail for Mr. Silvera. So he's looking at trying to get bail for him. Beyond that, myself and Miss Patrice Riley, who represent Mr. Silvera, so he now has two attorneys instead of the one that he started out with. Mr. Silvera would not want to comment and go into the details and intricacies of this matter because that would be simply adding fuel to the fire and to cause the public discourse to go on, he said. Now he is urging us to exercise some restraint. He also pleaded with the public to exercise some level of restraint and said that he felt it important that irrespective of the views of the accused, no matter how you want to see Jolyan Silvera, that there are young children involved and that this is a very, very difficult time for them. He added that he believed that it was unfortunate that there were many persons on social media who had already tried and convicted his client. The media and Silvera's family were barred from the preliminary hearing yesterday. I told you all that before. The judge says she has to use her discretion. Not now. Don't come in, but they'll be allowed to come in at a later date. The family, along with the media. The presiding judge, Justice Vinette Graham Allen, from the bench, Chief Justice Brian Sykes, in courtroom 1, gathered reports of the various media houses and told them that no permission would be granted to cover the high-profile matter at this time. So no transparency. Silvera's daughter and another woman were also privy to the discourse as they too were included. Graham Allen said that she understood that the media has a job to do, but one has to exercise one's discretion in these matters. She also said that maybe at some other time the family and the media would be allowed to watch the proceedings. Not at this stage though, at some other stage, she said before asking the parties to leave. Silvera was wearing a light blue shirt and a dark blue dress pants with brown shoes. He looked lighter, and at least one attorney said aloud that he appeared to be losing weight rapidly. Mr. the man, somebody in the comment section say, yo, the dog look happy as fuck. Because the way how him does jolly, I go through. But I said in my video, he looked like he really didn't belong because everybody else looked so different around him. Plait up here, pants sagging, boxers showing, push slippers, palm foot, so on and so forth. He was the only one, shirt tucked neatly into pants, button down dress shirt, long sleeve, and dress pants with some hush puppy looking shoes. He's looking like he was going to the office and he missed it and had to like change direction and end up a court or end up on the back of the paddy wagon with the rest of the people them. So he was there dressed in that attire. Looks like he is losing weight rapidly. He donned a half smile to his loved ones while coming up the stairs to the courtroom in handcuffs and surrounded by 4 police personnel. I see another person that said his daughter was there and his daughter said, "Hi, Daddy." And he didn't answer. He just smiled, a half a smile like, "Hi, Daddy." Damn, that must be. The court was packed with prosecutors, lawyers, and other court staffs, of whom had other businesses and cases elsewhere on the compound. The media was not allowed, right? So again, instead of me reading this whole article because there's a whole lot more left to it and I want to get into the Beachy Stout stuff, I'm think wifey want to go to the gym this morning. So Silvera's legal team has jobs to do. That is the title of this article. It was printed and published by the Jamaica Gleaner, January 26, 2024. For those of you who want to go look it up and read out the whole thing by yourself, right? All right. Let me say this. This must be very hard, for real, for his children. The young ones, not so much understanding what is going on, depend on what they did see, did not see, did hear, did not hear. Your children know if you are the type to hurt your significant other. Yeah, daddy beat mommy all the time because we see it, but we don't say nothing, right? They know. Not only that, children are so endeared to their parents. You have some parents that can be a total monster and still be a loving, caring parent to their children. So when they hear stuff like your dad killed your mom, the kids usually side with their dad. Yeah, mom is dead and we're hurting, but I don't think my dad did it. So whatever dad says to us is what we're going with. So they're showing up to the court date. They're denied access to the courtroom. They stand up outside, just want to see. 'Cause remember, I'm locked up, so they can't drive around to the house and see him or call him and say, "Daddy, come pick me up." He is in custody. So they have to go hang out like everybody else and, oh, see him there, come off of the van. "Daddy, hi, daddy, hi, daddy." It's sad. And then he turns and says nothing, just a half a smile, trying to probably keep their spirits up. Because you can tell when your children speak if they're hurting. I could tell by listening to my kids. If we're going through a situation like that, I'm here, "Hi, daddy." I know my friggin' baby's hearts are breaking. And I know they're terrified seeing me like this. Remember, it's not a family where come from zinc fence lane and poor people place. It's a family where come from opulence. I went and look up the address of the home and the surrounding areas. I be a big house up there. So, and then when a Vibes Cartel song looking at my head, 30 million for your house up a Stony. Yeah. So me I say a rich people place. So by default, and then I'm reading through articles and it says they had maids and they had gardeners and they had this and they had that, service people around. Yeah, no regular people lifestyle, them a friend. Right? So to go from that to a jail cell, that's like terrifying for them. Terrifying for them. So I understand what Peter Champagne is saying. On one hand, be careful of whatever it is that we're saying out here and all that. And I'm one of the people who will be. However, I will try to handle the information that come across us responsibly, right? Knowing that children are involved. And again, my advice to the people around the children, keep them away from social media at a time like this because people are going to talk. You can't stop people from talking. That's just the way the world is today, right? Angel D says they're going to put him in isolation. You have to behave yourself sometime, I'll wait like, this. But look at Matty, I got twep. Oh, God. SouFLo, just the way you are saying that bring a tear to my eye. Yeah, it made me feel like me want to cry to come here. I think about me picking them. And I'm thinking, imagine, "Hi, daddy." Oh, God. And they're used to seeing you all the time. And no, sir, we not come from that. They're worried. They're worried. I believe that the daughter, I don't want to say, I don't want to put nothing out there. I'm not even going to. But I think the daughter is grown. Yeah, and I if I'm not correct, the daughter is not Melissa Silvera's daughter. That was his child from a previous marriage, if I'm not correct, right? I stand corrected if I need to be corrected, but I'm pretty sure. Because from what I've read before, it says that the marriage between him and Melissa bore 4 children. 3 boys are still alive, one drowned at 2 years old. They have a set of twins, and then they have another one who was born following the one that passed. So, or the one that passed was the youngest, or something like that. But anyway, it never mentioned any girls. It mentioned 4 boys. So I'm guessing she must be high teens, maybe 18, 19, 20, them age there. I don't know. I don't know. He killed their mother for God's sake, Lulu Ridges. Yeah, Lulu, and we can say that too, but the picnic them now gonna see it that way. Sometimes reality is hard to face, and I'm one of the people who believe in just slapping reality in your face like this. Just look on it because it's reality. Why go around it? Why beat around the bush? But I'm very sensitive when it comes to children too. So I'm telling them, keep those kids away from social media. Cause we are gonna talk. Yeah. I just encourage my audience to be responsible in the things they say. You know what I mean? All right. With that said, moving right along. A little FYI just to break up the monotony, and then we go into the other topic. Uh, so there is a form that you fill out when you travel to Jamaica. People don't know the farm here. The farm has been my worst enemy for as long as I've been traveling, and I'm sure it's been that for many others as well. It's called the C5 form. You know, when you sit on the plane and then them pass out this form and you have nothing to declare and you have to write down on the form everything like you have 2 pieces of sugar cane in your backpack and you have this and you have that, half a pound of ganja, yeah, so we are try bring through and 100,000 US dollars that you're trying to declare and whatever. I'm just saying that form, right? Okay, they did away with that form. And that form was supposed to now be done online prior to you traveling. Everybody said, yes, thank God. So we don't have to do all that again. Because he used to hold up the line when you land. And then, everybody who have their form filled out already, please just go that way, please. People are walk past your car. You never travel with a pen. And nobody now lend you them pen. And you have to go, wait, you have a pen? Can I borrow your pen? Give me a pen. And when you go up front, you have to move to the side, sir, and fill that out over there. While, come on, people, let everybody else go. It's a friggin' catastrophe. I'm glad that they got rid of it. Nah, scammer them there, because you know, the scam, we're not playing up. The scammers are like, oh, so them actually change it to online. All right, so here we know. Now we are gonna charge people. So what they've done is they've set up these fake sites to charge you a fee to fill out your stuff. Now, in the hurry of you, yo, Jamaica, me are going, I got my ticket book already. What today is? Today is the 26th of January, February 3rd. Me can't wait a few days from that. Me I left. What we have to do? Go up online and fill out this in your rush. They have conned a whole lot of people so far because you just want to get it out the way. So people, I want like a fee there if you pay the $20 man and fill it out. You're traveling with a party of 6. You pay $20 per form, 20 times 6. All right, you get the drift, right? Right. They are letting us know that this is not, and shout out to Nationwide Radio JM.com. This is another one of the places I consider to be a credible source of information. You go there and you can read up on a bunch of other things. However, for this C5 form, Kauna Mackenzie, Director of Business Development and Communication of the Passport, Immigration and Citizens Agency, or PICA, was speaking to Nationwide News and is letting us know that they are chopping out there and you should not be a victim. In the meantime, the director of PICA, Kauna Mackenzie, is appealing to people to report any attempted fraud from them. Anybody trying to defraud you when you're completing your online declaration form to enter Jamaica. Dr. Green is calling for PICA to intensify its public education campaign to inform members of the public and of the diaspora about this particular con right here. You can get your C5 form online at PICA for free. You shouldn't be paying for it from anybody else. That's it. Segueing into our final topic for the morning, the Beachy Stout trial. Well, my friend, here it goes. First of all, Beachy Stout trial has been moved to 2026. When I saw that headline, I thought to myself, damn, they got a lot to cover up. Them just stop the trial and move it, so? That's not so. Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout Mcdonald is to stand trial on April 26 for the murder of his first wife. For the murder of his first wife, Merlene McDonald. It's important to clarify information because sometimes me scan over stuff too and go away with misinformation. So they're moving that trial for the murder of his first wife to 2026. The trial now for the murder of his second wife, Tanya McDonald, will continue as it's going on. The date was set in the Home Circuit Court yesterday, Thursday. 55-year-old at the time, Merlene McDonald, she was shot multiple times outside of her home on Boundbrook Avenue in Portland in 2009. During the course of investigation, the murder of his second wife, Tanya Hamilton McDonald, detectives reopened the case on his first wife and found enough evidence to charge him with the murder of his first wife as well. Beachy Stout is now on trial for the second wife's murder, which is Tanya, and Senior Deputy Director of Public Prosecutions, Jeremy Taylor, advised the court that the case file was ready and that the Crown was prepared to proceed with this case. So they're ready to go. But I don't know why, if they're ready, them set a date for 2026. Mr. Taylor indicated that prosecutors were awaiting the outcome of this trial first before they proceed with the case. So they want to give it some space in between before they get to the next one. Supreme Court Justice Leighton Pusey set the matter for plea and case management on October 16th of 2024, with the trial date set for April of 2026. It's expected to conclude by May of that year. Long ways away. Long ways away. Back to the Jolyan Silvera case real quick. I'm gonna make a prediction. A lot of people are saying SouFLo, he's not going to prison because Jamaica is not known for putting those type of people in prison. I said it to wifey yesterday. I said, babe, you know what I say? I feel like them are gonna let him go on bail and him will go home and kill himself. Don't at me. Back to Beachy Stout trial. The contract killer in Beachy Stout trial, you know, the recordings are being played. The contract killer in a Beachy Stout trial now is exposed in the recordings as he brought his son on the murder missions with him. Yeah. I told you yesterday, I said I don't see Beachy getting out of this one now, but I think Oscar Barnes is going to probably walk. Was it Oscar Barnes that did it, or was it your son that did it? And you threw Oscar Barnes under the bus to save your son. You understand? That doubt is created. I think Oscar, watch the case, I watch it unfold. I remember me did say certain things. All right? Telephone recordings were played in court on Wednesday. During the murder trial of Everton Beachy Stout, Mcdonald revealed that Delvalin Bubla Minot, which if you look at the icon for this morning, you will see him. He is to the far left corner of the icon, the same pretty face man that all the Jamaican woman cannot believe. So such a beautiful girl would have given him some tun. Anyway, Bubla brought his son with him during the attempts to kill the businessman's wife, Tanya Mcdonald. Minot is serving his 19 years for his role and his confession and his deal that he struck and the $3 million that he didn't get, but the story says he was supposed to get. Right. In the home circuit court in downtown Kingston on Wednesday, members of the 7-member jury perked up their ears to listen to roughly a dozen of the 38 call recordings between Minot and another man who is said to be Beachy Stout on the same recording. In one of the recordings, Minot told Beachy on the other end of the line that his son was in on the murder plot. Oh my God. He told him on the line, him say, yeah man, my son they in on it too. After the man believed to be Beachy asked him if the son was trustworthy. We can't trust your son though. Him say, well, him want money. So me carry him for work since him want money. But him can't go for no work. Him alone. Everything good, man. Everything good. Me can't afford to have him sit on a yard now and do nothing. Him come with me if him want some money. Me tell him about it and him say, all right. And so, me see him shut out. Don't know what the hell that mean. Me telling you before, some people go real deep in it. I don't know what that mean. What shut out mean? Him shut out. Maybe he mean shut out. Shut out as in him come with me. Right? Right. Mcdonald replied asking him, but can him hold his mouth? This is what Beachy asked him, yeah, him come out with you. Him dep on the scene, but can he hold his mouth? Can we trust him? Minot responded on the recording saying, yeah, man. How you say Beachy? Are we confused if it's Beachy now or not? Him address the man by name now in the recording. Yeah, man. I want you say Beachy, man. I him me gun them in a Beachy. I him have me gun them in a Beachy. I want you say Beachy, man. I him have me gun them in a Beachy. I him me give them for put on. Jesus Savior pilot me. Being quizzed by Mcdonald, who wanted to know how many people went to the house. Minot said, and me, my son, and my little cousin. Oh no, see. Azkaban still not come up yet. Who used to go at the house again? And me, my son, and my little cousin. Right now, police should be looking for the little cousin. And me, my son, and my little cousin. But the one who me call my little cousin, I'm not really my cousin. I'm a driver still. Jaja God. So this a man is not too bright because him know say him did a record and he was going to use the recording later to get police for him forget police to sink Beachy with it because him never pay him the $3 million. Remember him say when him go for the payment, the man said, you think say I saw $3 million come? But him no say him a record all this and the man a implicate him son, him cousin, but him telling yeah, my cousin, but the one that me call my cousin and not really my cousin still. I'm a driver, but him close enough to me call him my cousin. Yeah? Oh my God. Minot went on to tell Beachy Stout that problem was brewing with the man that he referred to as him cousin and him driver. Him a frown upon me right now, you know, because a 3 time now. 3 time now we come and try to kill her. Him a frown upon me now, you know, because a 3 time now. And we don't get to put on the work. You see it? Donald Beachy responded by saying, wait no man. I have to go pay them. That's all. Minor told Mcdonald that the driver had taken him to the location on 3 different occasions and needed some money. Because the man keep on come with him all the time. Wife that come with him, something there. But the man keeps on going to the location with him all the time, and he's not getting paid. He must say, yo, we're up on the mission. Send out some money now. He must say, boy, he must buy gas. So I say, no worry yourself, man. I'm going to link up my boss and make him give you your money. Make you buy some gas and go and do your thing. Now, after numerous failed attempts to kill Tanya at the house, the plan then changed, and she was lured to Sherwood Forest in Portland, where she eventually was killed. Beachy Stout trial defense attorney now jumps in and tries to accuse the police of manufacturing evidence. One of the attorneys him not bright. That brother then not bright. First of all, right, this shows me the desperation for money, what people will do. Because honestly, I told y'all this before, me see a video. It's a social experiment that a vlogger was doing in Jamaica. So the vlogger put a person in a crocus bag, tie up the crocus bag. So the person now wiggling at the bag, you can't tell it's somebody in the bag. Him stand up a roadside with the bag. Him a flag down people. Everybody that drive by, he said to them, and somebody is recording from the bushes. He said to them, yo, I want you help me carry that package, go drop it off up so and so, and him say a address. So the person will say, him say, how much you charge me? The person said, give me a 10 grand. Him say, all right then. Him say, help me put it in our trunk. So them jump out and pick up the bag, and the person wiggle. One person, and I watched about 10 of them, and only one person, I think it was a Rasta man, dropped the package and said the bag and say, yo, yo, take the brother, take that out. Take that, me not in a that. Everybody else was like, you have to go give me more, you know. What you having at this? Somebody in there? Yo, brother, here what? You have to go put the next 20 grand on that car, you know? And all they were concerned about was putting some more money on the money before. Me don't want to know what in the bag. Just put some more money on that. Me carry go up there. I'm like, yo. And the person in the bag starts saying, help, help. And the man I say, hurry up, no man. You pay me more or what? I could get for go on, man. lock the trunk and go on. And then the youth jump out. I don't know what they did with that video footage, where it's at now, but the person he would jump out and say, I joke me and McMahon is a prank, is a prank, is a prank. But just I try to see who would I do what. I was appalled and amazed that only one person actually said, yo, take that out of me. And the youth I said, oh yeah, say Rasta man, take you out of what? Yo, me put a little extra, but yo, take that bomber cloth out of yo, me not in that. The Rasta start cuss and everything. Right? Take that out of this, me not in that. He was the only one that said. So here is Beachy Stout attorneys now trying to shift blame to the police. Them say no, and the police are gather false evidence against my client. Yeah, real life stuff, may I tell you. Yeah. So if you don't think that there's a whole barrage of people out there waiting to save you if you get in a trouble, just know, sir, if one or two come your way, God did send them here because you're well protected. Because the majority of the people that's gonna come, them want a payment. And from payment can run, you're dead like dog. One of the attorneys representing Everton Beachy Stout Mcdonald for the murder of his second wife, Tanya, on Thursday suggested that the police were the ones that had manufactured evidence to establish that there were secretly recorded telephone conversations between the businessman and the contract killer. And the police do it. Attorney at law Courtney Rowe, while marshalling the cross-examination of a computer forensics examination expert. Now, remember, I know, is a computer examination expert. This is not no police officer with no other qualifications that he's cross-examining. You are an attorney. This person is an expert in the field of computer forensic examination. All right. So while he's up there cross-examining the expert about the phone, he suggested that the phone was used while in custody of the Communication Forensic Evidence and Cybercrime Unit before the extraction was done, which means they tampered with the evidence and foiled up the evidence and could have added things to it that did not belong in it. Right. Them never keep the same energy there in a cartel case though, but anyway. And that the police like say, me carry it, go home, judge, and use it and bring it back. But all right, back to this. The contract killer Delvalin Minot, who is serving his 19 years, we're tired of hear about him now, but it's important to the trail of the story. He's serving his 19 years for his deal. Because Beachy never pay him his $3 million, so he did these recordings to back up himself and whatnot. Earlier in the trial, Minot told the court that he secretly recorded about 120 conversations between himself and Mr. McDonald on his Samsung Galaxy A31 cell phone, which he handed over to the police when he was arrested. Remember, I know, right now, Minot not looking too credible again, because although some of the things he said that's checked out, remember he got on the stand and said he can't read. And nothing that they said in those statements, he said a lot of that, I didn't say it. Trying to imply that, not imply, he said the police are make up stuff for me now. Because them write down stuff and I say, me say it, and me never said that. Right? And the judge asks, so didn't you read the stuff before? He says, me can't read. But the police officer who transcribed all of this said she read it word for word over with him. She read it to him and she read it with him. So she is sure that he can read. Here is a next hole in his case as well, in his in what he's trying to present. Him say him and Bubla is Bubla himself and the other man that is being charged with Beachy, Oscar Barnes, are the only two. The same phone recording that he's trying to use to sync Beachy and Barnes is the same phone recording that he is caught on multiple occasions, saying how many times him son, and him cousin, but I'm not really him cousin, I am driver. No mention of Barnes still. Y'all see where this is going? Right. Is he credible? All right. 12 of those conversations were played in the home circuit court on Wednesday. But on Thursday, yesterday, Mr. Rowe asked the experts to explain why the file path for the images of Minot's, which he had taken from the phone, indicates that those pictures were actually taken by a Samsung Galaxy J, a different phone, and not a Samsung Galaxy A series phone. Asked to explain how is that possible. Cause my phone, if me pick it up and take 10 pictures, it will say the 10 pictures come from this phone. How come some of these are saying they come from somewhere else? Bang! All right. Mr. Rowe asked the expert to explain why the file path for the images of Minot, which was taken from his phone, seemed to have come from another phone. Some of them asked to explain how is this possible. The witness, which is an expert, said the file path suggested that the SD card on which the pictures were being stored in the Samsung 7 phone was removed and then it was placed in the Samsung Galaxy A31 phone. So it's one SIM card that's been used through multiple phones. So it's going to register with every phone that it gets switched into. But Mr. Rose suggested that based on the metadata report, none of the images were extracted from the SD card because there was nothing in the file path to make that connection. But But the expert insisted that the images were contracted from the SD card. Them not have nothing to go off for. Noting further that there was nothing in his report to suggest that the recordings were extracted from the SD card file path, Mr. Rose suggested that he did not get the recording from the SD card. This is the attorney telling the expert, you're lying. You didn't get it from that. I'm disagreeing with your professional findings. The witness, who is the expert, the computer expert, who also denied tampering with the file path, was questioned about whether he had used the phone before conducting the extraction while it was at CFCU, but maintained that he only handled the phone when he was doing the extraction. All right. Again, some people say that you keep on a call up Vibes Cartel name. This is the same line or angle of argument that would come up in the Vibes Cartel case. Remember, Vibes Cartel's case has a police officer that actually stood up in court and says, yes, I took the phone from the evidence room. I brought it home with me, Your Honor. I used it and I brought it back the next day and I put it back in the evidence room. The judge said, why did you do that? He said, because my minutes did run out on my phone. I'm the one make a call. The witness, this is back to Beachy case. The witness who also denied tampering with the file path, because that's what the lawyer is saying and arguing, trying to raise enough doubt. But you used the phone though, brother, before you took off all the stuff. And the expert says, no, I didn't. The only time I messed with that phone is when I was doing the extractions. So you see, if he did mess with the phone before he did any extractions, there is supposed to be a problem. There is tampered evidence, which would be considered contaminated. Throw it out. It can't be used. It's not credible. Right. Further in the cross-examination, the witness admitted that he had examined about 4 other phones, but he said nothing was found on those phones of probative value. Regarding the Samsung Galaxy A31 phone, he conceded that although he had extracted other data apart from the recordings and images, he only examined the files that the chief investigating officer instructed him to look at. Didn't mess with anything else. The witness, however, denied suggestions that he and the chief investigator had fabricated, because this is what Beachy's lawyer says. A liar not telling him. You and the chief investigator fabricated the data that is presented here today. Of course, the expert is saying, I don't agree with you, sir. That's a lie. I remained professional throughout my entire time. I did exactly what I was instructed to do by the chief investigating officer, and that is that. He also denied a suggestion that the extraction report was in relation to data that was extracted from another phone and not from the same Galaxy A31 phone. And that trial will resume on Tuesday of next week. That is where it ended yesterday. So them take Friday off. Everybody gone party while prisoner gone back in them cell. And then Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, they'll be off. And Tuesday, they'll be back to court again. Oh, what tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Nothing that is done in the dark will stay in the dark forever. Big up Miss Ruby, right? That's all over me. Granny. Yeah, she never wrong yet. With that said, people, you're up on cue about what's going on here and there. Manners and respect to each and every one of you tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend. Wifey probably gonna kill me because I'm 25 minutes into her gym time. I appreciate y'all greatly. Should have started earlier, but I saw the thing go. One love. Walk good. Be good. Try to be good. Or try to be conscious of your actions. Karma is real, man. And you're gonna pay for everything. Sow good seed, reap good fruits. Sow bad seed, you know the rest go. Right? One love. I'm out. Peace.